non-touching loops. So what we have done here, so comparing L1 with all the loops, we got L1 and L2, L1 and L4, first two combinations. Comparing L2 with the remaining two loops, so L3 cannot be taken, L4 yes, so L2 and L4 we get here the third combination, that is both are multiplied with the minus sign, so it becomes plus G3, okay, then H2 and then H4. So this is third combination. And then compare L3 with the last, only one loop is left, so therefore L3 with L4 we don't have any, again the similarities, all are different, so therefore we will consider L3 and L4 to be a non-touching loops. So therefore if you write, it becomes plus G1, G2, G3, okay, multiplied by H4, okay, multiplied by H4. So in this way we go for finding the two non-touching loops. Okay, so this is one mechanism. Now what about three non-touching loops? Three, the number is 3 now. Okay, so the number is 3. So how to go for three non-touching loops? Okay, one combination of all the three non-touching loops. One combination of all the three non-touching loops. One combination in the sense how? So here you just see L1, L2 we have, okay, and here L1 and L4 I have, okay. So these two cannot be taken. These two cannot be taken, okay. So why? Because, okay, or the another way of finding the three non-touching loops is nothing but you need to take one combination of three non-touching loops. You should check the signal flow graph in such a way that whether we have some three non-touching loops. Okay, I will just show you the figure here. Okay, so this L1, okay, this was L1. I will write here to make it more clear. So this is L1, okay, and this was L2, and this is L3. Okay, so we have L3. I will not consider. Sorry, I will make it this. This was L3, right? So this is L3, and the last was L4. Okay, so last was L4. So as we have four separate loops, what you should do is three non-touching loops. We have seen with only two. Okay, two we have taken. So what we should do here for the three non-touching loop is you should check in the signal flow graph that whether we have any three different loops which are not touching at all. Okay, so L1 is not touching with L2 and L2 is also not touching with L4, right? But what about L3? L3 is touching to L1 and L2. Okay, so that is the reason we will not take this L3. We will leave L3 and we will consider only L1, L2 and L4. Okay, L1, L2 and L4. So therefore the three combination, that is one combination of the three non-touching loops are, you can see the number here, the number which we have taken is L1, L2 and L4. Why? Because L1 is not touching with L2 and L2 is also not touching with L4. Okay, so and even L4 is not touching with L1. They are not, they all are different. They all are different. Okay, and the another way of checking the three non-touching loop is, see here, these are different and L2 is different from L4. But what about L3? In L3 I have G1, okay, and in L3 I have G3, right? And in L3 and here we don't have the number itself. So therefore all are different. So therefore this L1, L2 and L4 are taken as three non-touching loops. Okay, three non-touching loops. So that is the reason we consider them as non-touching loops. The number should not repeat. The number should not repeat. If the number gets repeat, then those number cannot be taken as the variables. Okay, so that is the reason. This is how we go for finding the three non-touching loops. The other method of finding the three non-touching loop is the number of two non-touching loops. Whatever you have obtained here is simply you should go on comparing with other two non-touching loops. For example, compare this L1 and L2 with L4. L1, this combination. Okay, I will just give the number so that it will help us. Okay, let us write this here as this is 1. Okay, so this is 2, this is 3, okay, and this is 4. So I've given just some numbers. What you should do is, how to find the 3 non-touching loop is compare 1 with 2, and you should not have any similarities. Everything should be different. Okay, but there is a common, right? If you look at this one, you should, how to find the 3 non-touching loop is compare 1 with 2, compare 1 with 3, compare 1 with 4. Okay, so if you compare 1 with 2, you have a common, that is G1. There is a common H1. So therefore 1 and 2 cannot be taken as 3 non-touching loops. Okay, then compare 1 and 3. So if you compare 1 and 3 here, so here we have G1, G3, H1, H2. Okay, but here I have G3, H2 and H4. Okay, so but here whether they are touching or they are not touching, that is what you need to check. Here we have G1, I have G3, okay, which is touching here. We have H2 where it is, this is H2, means at this particular point the number are getting touched, so therefore still we cannot tick them. Now if you compare this L1 with fourth number, again we have the common. So if you go on doing this mechanism to find the 3 non-touching loop, then you may end up with nothing. Okay, so therefore it is the simple way to find the 3 non-touching loop is you should check the signal flow graph, that in signal flow graph the number L1 is not touching to L2, okay, and this number is not touching with L4. So in this way you will find the 3 non-touching loop, okay, and easily you can write the equations. So therefore once you get the forward path, once you get the value of K, and once you find the 2 non-touching loops and 3 non-touching loops, then you can go for finding the value of delta. Okay, you can go for finding the value of delta. So how to find the value of delta is, just look here. So we have a formula to find the value of delta. So delta is given by 1, okay, 1 minus, okay, 1 minus all the loops. You can see here 1 minus all the loops. Which are all the loops? These values are all the loops here from L1 till L4. They all are loops, that is L1 plus. So how to write? First write 1, then put a minus, then in one bracket, square bracket, you can write L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L4, first combination. Then put plus, then put plus, then write these values. Which one? This. So these values, that is 2 non-touching loops. So which are the 2 non-touching loops? L1 L2 plus, everything should be written in algebraic sum. Okay, so L1 L2 plus L1 L4 plus L2 L4 plus L3 L4. Okay, so this is your 2 non-touching loops. Then put minus. Now you can see in the formula, first is plus, minus, plus, then again minus. Again if we have something, it becomes again plus. So first is only loops, this is 2 non-touching loops, and the last is 3 non-touching loops. So how to write? Minus, put a square bracket, then write this symbol. So that is nothing but your 3 non-touching loops. So in this way you can go for finding the finding the value of delta. So this is my new value of delta. Okay, so what is the value of delta now? So the whole equation is nothing but your value of delta. Now once you obtain the value of delta, find the value of delta 1 and delta 2. How to obtain, or how you got to know that delta 1 is equal, you should take only the 2 values of delta, because K is equal to 2, right? So therefore you should take 2 deltas. So that is delta 1 and delta 2. So you will be having how many deltas? 2 deltas. If K is equal to 3, you will have 3 deltas. So delta 1, delta 2 and delta 3. Okay, so you will find these 2 delta values. So then how to calculate these delta is more important. So in the previous class lecture, we have seen how to find the value of deltas. Okay, so to find the value of delta here, so what you should do is you should see that all the loops are touching to that particular forward path. If you have one forward path, so what is the forward path with respect to delta 1? So that is T1. Okay, so that is T1. We have T1 is the delta function. Sorry, T1 is my first forward path. So to this forward path, check that if you have any loop touching to that particular forward path. Okay, so what was our forward path? It was from y1, y2, y3, y4, y5, y6 and y7. Yes, all the loops are touching to the forward path. Okay, so if you find all the loops touching to the forward path, then consider that as equal to 1. So that is equal, delta 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so delta 1 is equal to 1. Then go for delta 2. So what is the delta 2? So delta 2 is my delta function with respect to the my second forward path, which was started from y1, okay, y2, y3, y4, then y6, then y7. So this is my second forward path. Now what you should see that whether you have the loops, whatever, how many loops we have, basically we have basically 4 loops. See that if you are finding the loops and those loops are touching to your forward path, then during that conditions you should take it as again equal to 1. Now if you look at this signal flow graph here, this signal flow graph, okay, so this L1 is touching to the forward path, L2 is also touching to the forward path at 0.4. Okay, at 0.4. See, what was the forward path here? Second forward path, it was till y4, then coming to y6, then coming back to y7. This is my second forward path. And what was the first forward path? This was my direct line, is my first forward path. Okay, so for second forward path, whether all the loops in the sense whatever you have seen here, if they are touching to the forward path or not. Check now. My first loop is touching to the forward path. Yes, because y2 and y3 is in this particular line. What about the second loop? Yes, this point at y4, here I am connecting it to the loop. So therefore my second loop is also connected to the forward path. My third loop is at starting at point y2 only. So therefore this y2 is also connected to the forward path. Then the last loop is L4, which is starting at this particular point. So that is called as y6. So that particular y6 is also touching to my forward path. So if all the loops in the signal flow graph are touching to the forward path, then that forward path delta value is taken as equal to 1. So that is the reason all the loops in the signal flow graphs, either you take forward path 1 or you take it at forward path 2, they are touching. So therefore, so the value of delta 1 and the value of delta 2 is equal to 1. Okay, so this is how we go for finding the delta functions. So you just remember the logic that if you have any signal, if you have any loops, if they are touching to the forward path, then take those forward path 2 is equal to 1. Okay, then after finding the value of delta 1 and delta 2, simply go for applying the Mazins-Gain formula. So what is the Mazins-Gain formula says? It is T1 into delta 1, because T1 should be related with delta 1, plus T2 into delta 2. Okay, because delta 2 should be related to T2 divided by the whole complete delta value. So how to find the value of transfer function here is, so what is T1? You can see here T1 is equal to G1, G2, G3 and G4. You just simply write, okay, multiplied by delta 1. So what is delta 1? So delta 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so delta 1 is equal to 1. So this value multiplied by 1 will give you the same values. Okay, plus T2. What is T2? G1, G2 and G5. You just keep it as it is. Okay, keep it as it is. Then multiplied by delta 2. So what is delta 2? Delta 2 is again 1. So keep delta 2 is equal to 1. So whole thing will be multiplied by 1. The whole numerator will be divided by the delta function. So what is the delta function? It is 1 minus the whole value. Okay. Now what you should do is simply substitute the value of delta. How to substitute the value of delta here? To substitute the value of delta, you just check here. Okay. Check here. So this is how to find the value of delta. Okay. So this value, the whole value will give you the transfer function. So in this way, we try to go for finding the transfer function for a given signal flow graph. Now you can see here delta 1 into delta T1 into delta 1 divided by delta. But what question they have asked here is, the question is for your draw a signal flow graph, that is y7 divided by y2. They are not telling y1, they are telling it as y2. Okay. So here you can see that is y2 divided by y1. Now to find this ratio, that is y2 divided by y1 is nothing but the forward path for y1 to y2 is how much? That is 1, right? You just look at this figure. In this figure, signal flow graph, the y1 to y2, we have a transfer function which is equal to 1. Okay. So that gives you T1 is equal to how much? Is equal to 1. Now what about the delta? The delta is same as above. The delta will not change. The delta will not change. Okay. So therefore, delta 1 is nothing but 1 minus L2 minus L4 plus L2 into L4. These are the non-touching loops and these are the simple loops. But what the condition here they have given is L2 and L4 are non-touching to T1. Why? You can see in this figure again that this L2 and this was L4. These L2 and L4, they are not touching to this point y2, but this L1 and L3 they are touching. Okay. So that is the reason they have taken as the L2 and L4 to T1 is equal to 1. So therefore the overall transfer function of y2 divided by y1 here they are given in terms of T1 into delta 1. So what is T1? T1 is equal to 1 itself multiplied by delta 1. So what is the delta 1 here? It is 1 minus L2 minus L4, because L2 and L4 are non-touching. So therefore they have taken as 1 minus L2 minus L4 plus these are two non-touching loops. So therefore they have taken this value. So it becomes 1 plus what is L2? This value plus what is L4? That is minus H4 becomes plus H4 plus what is L2 L4? That is G3 H2 and H4 divided by delta. So in the divided by delta is nothing but this value. Simply you can put this value, put the value of L2, put the value of L4 and put the value of these two combination which is equal to 1. So in this way they go for finding the transfer function. Let us I'll just make you more clear that this concept, this concept is the second part of the given problem. This is the second part of the given problem. Don't get confused with the second part of the problem. Okay. Even you can end your problem here, this part. Simply you can end your problem here only. So that is the overall transfer function. Overall in the sense leaving not even a single node, starting from y1 ending till y7, you can consider them as the overall transfer function. So overall transfer function is given by y7 divided by y1 is equal to this value. So the numerator, don't change the numerator. Only the thing is the denominator what we have, it is delta. So what you do, you find the value of delta, that is 1 plus what is, put the values of L1. So what is L1? So G1 into H1 plus L2, that is G3 into H2. G1, G2, G3 and S3 is L3 and L4 is nothing but here. All values already we have calculated. Only the thing is what you should do is you should put all the values of L1, L2, L3, L4 in the first bracket plus this L2, L1, L2 plus L4 plus L2, this value, all these four values put into the second bracket, and the last bracket is nothing but your group of three non-touching loop. Simply you enter all these three values here and the whole delta function, after calculation, after simplifying or after substituting, you just simply add here at the denominator. This is one set of problem. The below problem what they have asked is they are asking for the transfer function, not overall transfer function. It is only with respect to the y1 and y2. Okay, so that is the other part of the problem, and you need not to go for doing that problem. If you end here also, you will get more marks or simple full marks. Okay, so with this I conclude this problem. Thank you.